So hello, it's 3 p.m. on July 12th, 2019. Welcome to this weather update. And before we talk about all the things going on, let's start with the rainfall that happened yesterday across our area. Some areas got a lot of rain. Some areas didn't. Connecticut doesn't look like they got too much rain, around an inch. But this is where the heavy rain came. Bergen County really got hit hard last night. Almost 3.5 inches in Oakland, Franklin Lakes. These areas really got hit hard. Essex 2, Bloomfield 2.45. Hudson County, Kearney 2.74 inches of rain. But then again, you go right by Weehawken, and then there's hardly anything. So it's kind of interesting how that works out. Passaic County also got hit hard. Ramapo River, 2.98 inches of rain. Pompton Lakes, 2.70. Wayne, 2.54. So Passaic got hit hard. Parts of Union also got hit hard. Not really too hard in the city, though. It seems like I'm always doing that every time I have the weather update. Every time I got to do the weather update, I sneeze. Anyway, Wantaw, Nassau County was the high. 1.14 inches. Sorry, the weather, just the air quality is really bad. You know, air conditioners do, cool things off, and they do, bring down the humidity inside, but they can't do anything about the particles in the air, especially the fine particles and the gases in the air, too. In Suffolk County, we had 1.52 inches, so it looks like parts of Suffolk County, it looks like the east end got a lot, but not too much, just about a half an inch. So those are the rainfall totals for our area. I'd like to see the rainfall totals from New Jersey as well, if we can find those. Of course, they don't have it on their website. So let's see if maybe they put it up here. No, I don't see it here. All right, well, we'll just look at some of the observations then. All right, we'll start off in Jersey then, and we'll see how much rain they got in some of these stations here, because we have a lot to talk about. So it's 88 at Toms River. The dew point is 68. We'll see how much rain they got last night. Not very much at all. Not very much at all. So not much rain for them. Let's see if there's go a little further west. Maybe there's a little more rain, because those storms look pretty heavy on the radar. Oh, same thing again. A little further west here. I want to get McGuire Airport. So 88.1. No, not too much rain from them. Interesting. Oh, no, they did there. 1.55. I don't know why it's not showing up in the 6 hour. But, yeah, looks like they did get a good amount of rain. So it seems like the storms weakened when they got out toward the coast, I guess, a little bit. Because they got a ton of rain around Philadelphia and stuff like that. If we go here, you'll see what I mean. They got a ton of rain over there. So Philadelphia right now, 80. It's a little less humid, but let's see how much rain they got. Yeah, they got a good amount. All right, enough with the rainfall totals. Let's look at some of the current temperatures across our area now. Look this up to our area here. Oh yeah, before I do that, we got to look at this too. It's here. Yeah, public information statement. This is just some reports of flooding from all that rain in Jersey that hit some roads flooded and stuff like that. So we did have some flash flooding in New Jersey and Rockland County too as well. So let's go back and look at some of the observations across our area today, and we also have to look at the radar because we still have a couple of things popping up. So it's 87 degrees. The dew point is down to 65. So the dew points are coming down, but it's still hot out there. It's going to be hot tomorrow, too. We're going to talk about that, too. There's a lot to talk about, like I said. Let's look at the radar and see. We do have a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms here that have popped up. So, again, it looks like that one had a special marine warning, but now it's kind of expired, that special marine warning. Looking at the Ventus sky, you can see, again, we have a westerly flow, so no sea breeze across the area today, unfortunately. Which means it's going to be hot. The dew points are coming down, however, so that's the good news, is the dew points are a little lower, but not that low to be considered comfortable, as far as I'm concerned. So that's the thing. So I think that wraps up looking at the current weather outside. Now it's time to focus on Tropical Storm Barry, at least outside in our area. Tropical Storm Barry, maximum winds 55 knots. So it's not a lot of wind with this. The main thing is the rain. Let's take a look at it on satellite. You can see it looks kind of disorganized and lopsided. And here's the thing. The rain is going to be the big issue with this storm. Not so much the wind, the rain. And you can see, here it is. You can see it brushing along the coast right here. And we're going to actually look at some radars from that area too, if we can. Let's see if we can go and look at it on the Ventus Sky radar. That would be even better. So let's do that. Let's see what it looks like. There it is. So here it is. So here is Barry, and you can see most of the precipitation very lopsided. This side of the storm is very dry because some dry air has gotten in here, and this side is very wet. So once this thing moves onshore, this is the part that we're going to have to worry about. Once this moves onshore over Louisiana. So we'll have to look at the models and take a look and see where that's going to go. Here it is again, Tropical Storm Barry on the satellite. And let's look at the Hurricane Center forecast for that. So it's still becoming a hurricane. I don't know if it's going to make it to a hurricane status because it is getting some shear. Despite being over really warm water, it's too close to land to really strengthen too much more, at least in my opinion. But winds are west. The movement is very slow, west-northwest to 5 miles an hour, and you can see max sustained winds of 65. Well, yeah, it could become a hurricane or a minimal hurricane. It's possible, I guess, before it moves onshore, and then slowly moves through Louisiana and Arkansas. So really, but the main thing is going to be rain with this thing. It's just going to bring a lot of rain, and that's going to be the main thing. So let's look at the models here. Well, let's first look at Barry. Here we're going to go right to the Gulf Coast here and take a look at Barry. Yeah, South Central U.S. Here we go. So this is the GFS, and we'll see how the GFS tracks it. GFS tracks it a little bit west of New Orleans, but fairly close to New Orleans. Look at all that rain. That's the main thing that's going to be with this storm is the rain. So if we look at all the rain this thing is going to dump in this area, we can look at the total accumulated precip and show you all the rain. This here, just over New Orleans or just to the west. Look at that. There's a shade of 24 inches of rain, 2 feet of rain. So there's going to be a lot of freshwater flooding from this storm. Not so much, wind damage. There will be a little storm surge, I think, but it's going to mainly be from rain, the flooding. And we can look at the NAM as well with this. And so we can see here, again, it seems to have the general idea. Just New Orleans might be on the edge of it, but it's awfully close to where this heaviest rain is going to form. And we'll look at it here on this as well. So you can see there it is. So you can see you can see the track. It's going right over there. That seems to be an agreement on all these models, I think, as to where the track is going at this point. That seems to make the most sense. But it's something that definitely is going to be a major disaster, flooding disaster for this area with all the rain that's going to fall. So let's go back in our area and look at the weather that's going to be occurring for this weekend into next week. So, well, we'll just look at this weekend, I think, and maybe a little bit of next week. So it's going to be dry for more or less this weekend. There's going to be any more rain. The next chances of rain probably won't be for a while. Maybe not until next week sometime when we may see some of the remnants of Barry head this way. So let's start off with temperatures, show you the heat that we are going to be dealing with. So as we head into tomorrow, you see temperatures upper 80s, near 90 degrees, and I don't think there'll be much of a sea breeze either, which is not going to help things at all. And then for Sunday, same thing. Maybe a little bit cooler. And then for Monday looks a lot cooler. And then the heat starts building again as we get into next week. Tuesday, Wednesday could be really brutal. Thursday, and we're going to have this really, it's going to be very hot, and it's also going to be very humid, because Thursday and Friday look really bad next week. GFS has been pretty consistent with that, and into the weekend it could get even worse. We could see some 100-degree days. The GFS has a really big heat wave setting up for us. We may see some 100-degree days those days. Look at this. Oh, I am dreading that. I am absolutely dreading that. All right, let's look at the dew points. This back over here. Hoping the GFS is wrong about that. That looks really bad. All right, so dew points come down a little bit tomorrow. We have dew points depending on where you are. It looks like there's dry air over Nassau and western Suffolk, but eastern Suffolk could still be a little more humid, and maybe north and west. Basically, you really have to give me Maine to be in a comfortable air. And then for Sunday, trying to push those dew points back again, maybe a little drier, because there's like a little weak front here. It's trying to push southward. And then for Monday, Monday looks like a much more comfortable day. So this looks like the pick of the week. So you better enjoy Monday. So it'll only be in the low 80s and dew points in the 50s. Finally a comfortable day. Because then the humidity comes back with a vengeance next week. All next week you'd see not a change, and it gets worse toward the weekend. We could be dealing with temperatures in the mid 90s and dew points in the mid 70s. Just horrible. I'm dreading it. I am dreading this heat that we're going to be dealing with. I'm hoping the GFS is wrong. But the way this summer has gone, it would not surprise me that the GFS is going to be right about this eventually, even though the GFS has a tendency to overdo it a little bit. You know, it picks up on things. So as far as the skies goes, and it doesn't show smoke, shows fairly sunny skies for tomorrow. Sunday, maybe a few more clouds. Monday, unfortunately, a lot of clouds. So that's why it's going to be cooler, unfortunately. That's what I was dreading. I was hoping that was going to be a good day to go outside. And Tuesday, clouds. After this, we're going to be dealing with a lot of clouds. I mean, it's not going to be clear, and then we're going to deal with that heat. So let's look at the NAM. So here we go with the NAM. NAM has a tomorrow being. Tomorrow is probably going to be some sunshine. Maybe if we can get rid of the smoke and have nice blue sky, but it won't be all that cool out. Sunday might be okay too. So I'll have to take a look at that and see. But the smoke, I don't know, because I don't really have a. It looks good over here. If we can get into this tomorrow, maybe we can get rid of some of the smoke. Maybe it looks like I don't see too much smoke here, so I'm hoping at least we can get rid of the smoke, and that would help out a lot. But it's definitely scary looking at some of these. We'll get right back to Barry again, but it's definitely scary looking at some of the heat, because this thing is going to bring a lot of the tropical air and moisture up with it. So we may not see much rain from it, but we may wind up seeing a lot of heat, because the problem is the general pattern that we're in. That is, unfortunately, this pattern. We seem to just be locked into here, and we'll go back to the models and we'll take a look at that pattern. So if we go to the CONUS view, I'll show you what I mean. This is the problem. Looking at the dew points. All right, and I'll change this to the GFS. Looking at the dew points, this is kind of like, you see this ridge sitting here, and it just doesn't go anywhere. This is the problem, and you see this like tongue of like this heat tongue coming right off the Gulf and in the Atlantic that just swallows the whole eastern part of the country, and it just doesn't go away. This is again looking at the dew points, but you can see here it looks like, yeah, we get some relief maybe toward the end of the period, but and we're not even getting the worst of it. The Midwest is getting the worst of that tongue. We're not even getting the worst of it. Luckily, we're getting some relief. For the folks in the Midwest, even up as far as Minneapolis and Minnesota, I mean, they're just dying. You know, and not supposed to be like that in the summer there. As far as out west, they continue to enjoy low dew points. However, we're starting to see a little bit of a monsoon develop. They get these monsoons once you get toward late summer in Flagstaff. So if we do look at the forecast for Flagstaff, we'll first look at our forecast from the Weather Service, and then we'll look at the forecast for Flagstaff. If you look at our forecast, you'll see the heat, and then we'll go to Flagstaff. But Flagstaff, you see, at least we have a lot of sunshine, but it will be hot. Flagstaff's, it's going to be Flagstaff's turn to be in the clouds because when the monsoons come, they get more clouds, and it gets a little more humid. And they call dew points in the 50s in Flagstaff muggy, so you can see a chance of showers most days, but it's still low dew points out there. So they won't have to deal with the humidity, but they are going to have plenty of clouds around for a change. For a change. So that does wrap up this video here. Again, we will be watching Barry. I'll keep you updated on Barry, and the heat that might be coming into next week could be really bad. Toward the end of next week into the weekend could be really bad. I'm hoping that GFS is wrong. Anyway, that concludes this weather update. Take care and thank you for watching.